right, so tell the people who you are.
So my name is Maya Hunter. I am a spring 2020 graduate of the best HBCU, Prairie View A&M University, with my BS in Chemical Engineering. I will be moving forward to work for PepsiCo at their Gatorade plant in Atlanta, Georgia, as a supply chain associate at the end of this summer.
All right, Maya, so what made you jump into this field as a chemical engineer?
So I originally started out as a mechanical engineering major, following after my uncle, who graduated from Southern University as a mechanical engineer. And when I started coursework, I was like, okay, this really isn't something I think I want to do. I took a huge interest in my chemistry classes, and I was like, okay, I'm enjoying chemistry, I'm not enjoying mechanical, so let me switch over to chemical engineering. I did that, and right off the bat, I fell in love with it. Just taking the chemistry and relating it to engineering, combining the two, it took off. And from that point forward, I had no regret on what my decision was.
All right, so what would you say is the most biggest benefit into being a chemical engineer? What's some benefits that really just stand out?
I think the biggest benefit in chemical engineering is the different routes that you can take. As a chemical engineer, you can go into working at a chemical plant, you can go into oil and gas, you can go into food and beverage, you can go into pharmaceuticals. Some people even get chemical engineering degrees and move on to medical school or pharmacy school. There's so many different avenues that you can go into just from having a chemical engineering degree. So even if you don't want to go directly into chemical engineering, working with chemicals, just to have that basically that degree saying, hey, I am a chemical engineer, I went through this coursework, I went through this blood, sweat, tears to get this, so I can pretty much do anything. So I feel like with my chemical engineering degree, there's no position that I can't excel in. So that's something that's definitely a benefit. There's so many things and avenues that I can go to and go down with this degree.
All right, so what's something you did not expect jumping into becoming a chemical engineer?
Something that I did not expect and I didn't take into consideration was the safety and responsibility that comes with running and operating a chemical plant. When you're running and working at a chemical plant, on a chemical plant, you're not working with chemicals on a small scale in a lab where, you're taking your chemistry lab and they're telling you, okay, wear your goggles, if something spills, go take it over here and dispose of it properly. When you're working with a chemical plant, you have these large volumes of chemicals, and if something goes wrong or something goes left and one thing leads to another, you end on an explosion. It's not just the plant's lifeline that's in jeopardy, it's lives that are at stake, lives that are changed or impacted by something that you may have not known, may have not done. So that's one thing I didn't take into consideration when thinking, let's be a chemical engineer, let's work with chemicals on this large scale. But that's definitely something that I wish I would have looked into when I made the decision to become a chemical engineer.
All right, so what drew you into your side hustle?
Something that has pushed me towards my side hustle is one, my social media presence. I have a large platform of both PD students, future PD students, and PD alum, which is pushing me to start my YouTube channel, which is where I'll continue to be able to make an impact and give instructions, give feedback to freshmen that are coming into PV, possible transfer students, and future Panthers. So I am looking into starting a YouTube channel based around those things. And also, one of my goals is to be able to write and publish a book, probably before I'm 30, which is where I will just tell my story, tell about things that I've dealt with, like not just in undergrad, but in this short life that I have had. Because when you're going through things, you feel like you're the only person dealing with them, and you may feel like you're alone, like by yourself. But there's thousands of other people that are dealing with these same things. So I want to be able to put some of the highs and the lows that I've dealt with out so that other people can look at them, learn from them, and know that there's someone else out there that is going through or dealing with or has dealt with some of the same things that they have.
All right, so touch on all of the organizations that you were in. You mentioned that you was really active on campus. You could really explain to the people what all you really did at Prairie View campus.
All of the things that I did at Prairie View. So I was a CA for on-campus freshman housing in University College for 3 years. A live-in mentor for freshmen, guiding them through their first year. I also worked the engineering summer program for 2 years, being able to guide freshmen through their trigonometry classes, their general engineering class, and then some of their special classes that related to their discipline. I was also a Purple Jacket, which is an organization of women that work directly under the president, working events, hosting events, bringing new members in. I was also a part of NSB, the National Society of Black Engineers, for about 5 years, 4 years actually being active. I served as the new membership chair for the chapter board, and then I went on to be the Texas Zone Chair for the Region 5, and then following this past year being the Regional Secretary for Region 5, which I absolutely love. Working for NSB, giving back to NSB, so much love, dedication, and support that I give to NSB. In SGA, Student Government Association, for the 2018-2019 school year, I served as Miss Senior, which is the class queen. I was voted on by my peers to represent them on the Royal Court for the university, so that was pretty fun. Introduced me to so many new people, so many new things. Lastly, I was press secretary this past year, whereas weekly I gave press updates for student government to the student body. So before Corona hit, I was recording videos weekly, and they were posted on the SGA page, giving updates about what was going on, SGA, athletics, things of that nature. So really active my 5 years at PD, but I wouldn't trade any of that for nothing in the world. Definitely enjoyed it.
All right, so talk about your experience as being a woman in STEM.
Being a woman in STEM, it definitely has its challenges. This past year in my senior design group, I was the only woman in my group of 5, so it was me, myself, working with 4 male chemical engineers, and just trying to not necessarily keep the group together, but to keep the group together. You're working with 5 people from different backgrounds, with different attitudes, different personalities. Bringing all of that together to finish a project was definitely difficult, and it caused me to have to step up as a woman. They didn't want me to just be a regular member. They voted me to be the leader of the group and all of that. And me being the only woman in the group, sometimes they didn't want to listen to what Maya had to say. They didn't take what I said as if it was really supposed to happen until, we were getting feedback from professors and stuff. So being the only woman in the group, it really pushed me to have to step up in a lot of cases. And throughout this time of me saying, why isn't my group listening to me? It was a lot of times where mom would say, you are in a male-dominated industry, to where this isn't just the issue that you may have with your senior design group. It's something that you may be dealing with all throughout the next few years of your life. So although, it's going to be hard sometimes, I may look around rooms and I may be the only woman in the room. A lot of times I may be the only African American woman in the room. But this year has really pushed me, even if you are the only African American woman in the room, you still have to stand up and you still have to show everybody what you know. So I see that it is difficult. I know that it will be difficult. It will be a challenge, but it's something that I'm definitely ready for. And I'm ready to be able to open doors for other African American women in STEM and just women in general. So it's been a challenge, but it's something that I'm ready to take on full force.
All right, so talk about your internship experience. You mentioned that you had quite a few. Go ahead and just elaborate on those experiences.
So I have had about 3 internships. My first one was the summer after sophomore year. I was able to shadow one of the lead chemists at Kennedy Space Center in Florida. I was there for about 5 weeks. Loved it, great experience, and it's on my resume now. I also was a fellow in the Mickey Leland Energy Fellowship. where I was given the opportunity to go and work at a research lab in Morgantown, West Virginia, doing project management for carbon storage project. That was a great summer. I knew nothing about Morgantown, West Virginia, when I was told that that was my location. And I was kind of hesitant over going when I looked into the town. But when I got there, I can definitely say that that was probably one of the best summers that I've had while being an undergrad. I met so many people, both inside and outside of the lab, that I still talk to, and this is like 2 years later, as well as getting like really good project management experience. So that was something I always cherished. And then this past summer, I was a supply chain at Pepsi in Atlanta, Georgia, which is where I'll be returning, but this time at the Gatorade plant. And working as a supply chain intern, being able to dip into different departments within the plant, and then being in Atlanta, which is a wonderful city, it was definitely amazing, nothing short of amazing. So those have been my 3 internship experiences, kind of all in different bags, if I could say it that way. Okay, if you guys want to follow me on any of my social media platforms, you can find me on Instagram at _MayaTVH. That's _MayaTVH. Follow me on Twitter at Maya_Monique with 2 E's. And I'll also be starting my own YouTube channel pretty soon. And you can follow or subscribe to that right now. And that will simply just be Maya Monique, again with 2 E's. And I'll make sure that those are on the video or in the comments.
All right, as we close out this interview, what's something that you'll want a viewer to take away from Maya Hunter? If they didn't get anything else from the interview, what's something you'll want them to know about yourself?
I will want a viewer to know that I am a person that loves to help people. If you're a complete stranger and you come to me and you're asking me about something that I can help you with, whether it be PV, NSB, engineering, life in general, if I can help you, I'm going to help you. If I know someone that can help you, I'm going to point you in their direction, or I'm going to reach out to them for you. So I'm not just one person that wants to grow and wants to leave people behind. I want to help as many people as I can and pull people with me. So I'm definitely someone that's easy to talk to, and that's just, I'm not going to say overall friendly, but I'm very much so a people person. So I'm really a helper. I would love and would like to help as many people from as many places that I possibly can. So that's who and what Maya Hunter is and what she loves to do.
And that concludes this video. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. It really do help my channel when it comes down to the YouTube algorithm. If you guys have any questions regarding anything, just hit me up on Instagram, hit me up on the gram at DreThePlug 123. And then also go check out my other YouTube channel. This is actually my second channel. My first one was called Andre ClassicCuts. I basically go in and give tutorials about all types of different haircuts. I actually show people how to do different type of things with the clippers that has never been done. And I pretty much go into detail as to why certain things happen. So definitely go check out that channel. Besides that, be on the lookout for my next content that's dropping. Be on the lookout for it because it's coming real soon. And I'm out.